ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राद्याः पारिषद्याः परस्पतं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाब्जभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिम्। जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्च अर्थेषु अभिज्ञः स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोचिधकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्। श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यः हृदि अवरुध्यतेः अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषिभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तम् अनुपेतम् अपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरह कातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवः अभिनेदुः कं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिम् आनतोऽस्मि यः स्वानुभावम् अखिलश्रुतिसारम् एकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अपि ततीर्षतां तमोन्धम संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं कं व्याससूनुम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। Now with Bhagavan's grace we will take up the second adhyayam in Skandham number 4. Now, just a quick review. The fourth Skandham has 31 adhyayangal, chapters as we call it, adhyayangal. They deal with Visarga. Visarga means secondary creation. Sargam, Visargam, and also Manvantara Charitam. All those things are all part of the Lakshanangal, the characteristics of a Puranam. We covered that earlier. There are 10 characteristics. Sargam is primary creation. We saw that earlier number of times. 24 aspects that cause it. Primarily there are only 3. Then from there, Visargam, varieties, permutations and combinations of so many things that take place, right? Even now we see so many things take place, right? And that is Visargam, right? And the we covered in Skandham 3. I'm not going to go with now covered number of things in third Skandham. We did a summary also of that. So in Skandham 4, the life of Swayambhuva Manu and Shatarupa, who were born from the body of Brahma. Brahma, in order to create, willed that his body be split into two, basically, which is one is the attracting element, the Satarupa, because it attracts in infinite ways. We call this as a feminine aspect. That is why Prakriti, nature, is considered feminine. Okay, Bhudevi is considered feminine. Feminine in the sense, we should not think. We have got to unlearn what we have been taught. Moment we say masculine and feminine, immediately we think man and woman. No, that is not what it is. Okay, it is not, please. It is Purusha and Stri. And Stri is something that is dependent. Purusha is independent. And Stri is the one that attracts in infinite ways. So it's called Satarupa. Okay? And Swayambhuva Manu. And then we also saw that they had 3 daughters, Akuti, Prasuti, and Devahuti, and 2 sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada. Now, the very first man, in our English language, you want to call it that way, is Swayambhuva Manu. And he was the ruler, the first king to rule over the whole earth. And he was a Kshatriya in the sense, as the Sanskrit word described, Kshat means one, a Kshatriya means one who removes the miseries and sufferings of all the people. So that is the protecting element. That is what a king is supposed to do, a Kshatriya is supposed to do. Then we also saw the daughters of Swayambhuva Manu and Akuti and Devahuti and all married. Akuti married Ruchi, Prajapati. They were all married, given in marriage to several Prajapatis. Prajapatis all came from Brahma. Prajapati, as the name implies, in order to procreate. The main reason, we all have come from Prajapati. We will see which one, okay? Then the Devahuti was married to Kardama Prajapati. We covered that in great detail. And Kapila Avataram was born there. We also saw Akuti was given to Marichi Prajapati, and none other than Yajna, Bhagavan Avataram, Yajna Avataram and Dakshina were born. We saw that. And then the Devahuti's 9 daughters, we also saw, were married to several Prajapatis like Marichi and etc. Akuti was married to Prajapati Ruchi and Yajna and Dakshina. And we also saw Putrika Dharmam, and Yajna and Dakshina had 12 children who became Devas, okay, in the Swayambhuva Manu Manvantaram. Now, a quick review, a recap, a refresher. A Manvantara is a period of rule of a Manu. It will be more than 311 million human years. One Manvantaram is more than that, 311 million human years. And each Manvantaram has its own Devas, Saptarishis, Manu, like our current Manvantaram is Vaivasvata Manu, right? So he's a 7th Manu. A total of 14 Manus are there in one day, in one cycle of creation. One day of Brahma has got 14 Manus. So then each Manvantaram has its own Devas, Saptarishis, Manu, and Manuputras, Indra, and various avatarangal that comes pertaining to that age. Now, one of the important, so Akuti we covered briefly, Devahuti we covered also in quite a bit of length because of Kapila Upakyanam, was so in such an exalted teaching that we covered that. Now, one of the important episodes in the 4th Skandam comes from Prasuti, the one of Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa's daughters, one of the three daughters, remember? And she was married to Daksha Prajapati. Now, among all the Prajapatis, Daksha Prajapati was given the leading place by Brahma among all the Prajapatis. Now, Daksha had 16, and Prasuti had 16 daughters, out of which 13 were married to various rishis and Agni and Devadagal and all that. We saw that. The last one, Sati, was married to Rudra or Shiva. Now, that's a story we're going to take up. And the last slokam we covered in Adhyayam 1. Slokam number 66. The basic meaning is, the main thing is, in Prasuti, after marrying Daksha Prajapati, in Slokam 65 and 65, I'll briefly give you the meaning, and 66 I'll read the Slokam again before we move on to Adhyayam 2. The Sati was given in marriage to Rudra, 16th daughter. She served her husband, who was well matched with her in all virtues and conduct, but she did not have any children, because she happened to abandon her body by the power of yoga early in life, because she was hurt by a feud that her father Daksha developed against her innocent husband, Sri Rudra. Sri Rudra was gentle, exemplary in conduct, exemplary literally showing us how to behave, gave protection to the protectionless. Everybody surrendered, very kind, and had no enmity. And towards him, Daksha developed enmity. And there was a feud. And Daksha disrespected and derided Rudra. And Sati Devi could not bear that, so she took her own life. Slokam number 66. Pitari apratirupe sve bhavayan agase rusha apraudaivat nanatmanam ajahat yoga samyuta. Basically, sve pitari, her own father Dakshan, anagase bhavaya, faultless, blemishless, Rudra in Sivaperuman, who is faultless, apratirupe, developed enmity. Because of that, apratirupe, apraudaiva, without any children, that Sati, Rusha, in tremendous anger, Atmanam, Atmane, Atmana Yeva, by her own self, in her own self, from yoga samyuta, when the fire developed from her own self, Ajahat, she gave up her life. That is the Slokam 66. Now, Adhyayam 2 through 7, 2 through 8, I think, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's how many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 Adhyayangal deal with Daksha Prajapati and what happened, what was the yagam about, and why did Sati give up her life, and all these things are covered there very beautifully. We're going to take it up with Bhagavan's grace only that we can do it. And the most enlightening part of Bhagavatam, even today you go to Haridwar, the place where Daksha Prajapati did the yagam is still there. Okay? and then how Sati, what happened, how the various pieces of her body fell in different places. All those things are other things that we will take it up at the appropriate time. So now, so Adhyayam 2 talks about the confrontation between Rudra and Daksha. Adhyayam 3 talks about the Sati Devi's desire to visit the Daksha's yajna, the sacrifice yajna that he was performing. Now, the chapter 5, that is 2 and 3 I've covered, right? 2 covers this, 3 she wants to visit, and chapter 4 is Sati Devi's, she gives up her life, that talks about that. And then chapter 5 is Daksha is destroyed. And chapter 6 is propitiation of Rudra, Sri Rudra, that happens very, very beautifully. And then chapter 7 is completion of Daksha's yajna. Daksha's yajna was stopped, all these things took place, then the yajna was completed. Daksha was also revived. That you're going to see. That is the Adhyayam 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then when we come to Adhyayam 8, we take up Uttanapada's lineage. That's where the story of Dhruva comes. One of the most exalted divine pieces in the whole of Bhagavatam is Dhruva. Okay. Now, let's come back to Adhyayam 2. It talks about the confrontation between Rudra and Daksha. And this has got, how many slokas there? 20, 31, 35 slokas are there. Atha Dvitiyo Adhyayah. Thus the second Adhyayam. Vidura Uvacha. Bhave Silavatam Sreshte Daksho Duhitruvatsalah Vidvesham Akarot Kasmat Anadrutyat Najam Satim. Slokams 1, 2, and 3. I will recite it continuously, and then we'll take up one slokam at a time. You can also follow this very easily. Slokam 2. Kastam Charachara Gurum Nirvairam Santa Vigraham Atma Ravam Katham Dveshti Jagato Daivatam Mahet Daivatam Mahate. Slokam 3. Yetad Akyahi me Brahman Jamatus Sasurasya Cha Vidveshastu Yata Pranan Tatyaje Tutyajan Sati. Slokam 1. Bhave Silavatam Sresthe Daksho Duhitruvatsalah Vidvesham Akarot Kasmat Anagrutyat Najam Sati. Vidura Uvacha. Vidura now says, if you've been listening attentively, the last slokam in Adhyayam 1 said Sati gave up her life because of enmity between her father and her husband. Then the question is, what happened? That's what Vidura is asking. Duhitru Vatsalaha Dakshaha. Duhitru Vatsalaha. Duhitru means daughter. Vatsalaha, one who is a darling, one who loves his daughter. That Dakshan, Atmajam Satim, his own daughter Satiyai, we say in Tamil, Sati, Anadritya. Anadritya means not respecting, disrespecting. Okay? Not being bothered about that, ignoring his own daughter, whom he loves very much. That Daksha, Silavatam Sresthe, Silavatam. Silavatam means, Sila means good conduct. Silavatam, among all the people who got very good conduct, Shresthe, the best among them, Bhave in Rudra, in Sivaperuman, Kasmat, with what reason, why? Vidvesham Akarot, he had, Vidvesham means enmity, okay? Why did Daksha, who loves his daughter very much, without ignoring her, develop enmity towards the Sri Rudra, Sivaperuman, who is the best among all the people with Seelam, with excellent conduct? Okay, why did he get, with what reason did he develop enmity? That is the first question. Slokam 2. Kastam charachara gurum nirvairam santa vigraham atma ramam khatam dveshti jagato daivatam mahat. Now it describes Rudra, Sivaperuman here in this slokam. How is it if a person is gentle, the person is kind, the person is all forgiving, is very simple, always peaceful, and he is the Lord of the moving and unmoving in the whole world, the whole universe, and he has no enmity towards anybody, and one who is always immersed in his own bliss, that Atmik Anandam, and the Mahat Daivatam, the Lord of the whole. How that person, how can anybody develop enmity towards him? How can anybody hate him? It's a good question. That's the next question. Because he got, what reason did he get angry at Sivaperuman? Now, who's this Sivaperuman? Who's this Rudra? He's saying, Charachara Gurum. Once more I'll read. Kastam Charachara Gurum Nirvairam Santa Vigraham Atma Ramam Katham Dveshti Jagato Daivatam Mahat. Charachara Gurum. Chara, Achara, Gurum. Chara, moving. Achara, not moving. Okay, stationary. Gurum, the leader, in this case, okay, the master of all the things. Nirvairam, one who has no dvesham, no hate, no enmity towards anybody. Vaira means, in this case, don't think in terms of diamond, okay? And Vaira means enmity, okay? And Vaira means hatred, okay? So Nirvairam, without any hatred or dislike towards anybody. Santa Vigraham, all the embodiment of peace, the embodiment of Santam. Atma Ramam, one who is always engrossed in his own Atmic bliss. Jagataha Mahat Daivatam, Jagataha, for all this whole universe, Mahat Daivatam, the greatest divinity. Tam, that Sivaperuman, Kaha, who, Khatam, in what way, Dveshti, will hate. How can anybody in what way develop hatred toward the Sivaperuman, Rudra? That's a question. Number 3. Yetat akyahi me brahmanne jamatus sasurasya cha vidveshastu yata pranan tatyaje dustyajan sati. Yetat akyahi me brahmanne jamatuhu sasurasya cha vidveshaha tu yataha pranan tatyaje dustyajan sati. Dustyajan sati. Now, Brahman, now Vidura is talking to Maitreya. So he says, Brahman in this case, great one, my elder one, most respected one, worshipful one. Yataha, for what reason? Jamatuhu, son-in-law, Sasurasya, father-in-law, Vidveshaha, Vidveshaha means the enmity. For what reason, O great one, what reason was there a enmity between son-in-law and father-in-law? Sati, the Sati Devi, Justyajan. Tyajan means to give up. Justyajan means very difficult to give up. What is it very difficult to give up for all of us? Our own life. If you really think about it, all of us want to live forever. And that is the aspect of very important learning, teaching that I learned from my Bhagavan, my master and guru, my everything, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, that I want to share with you. Bhagavan is present as Satchidanandam, Satchit Anandam. And Rupam and Namam, the moment you put a name and a form, then you get you and me and everything in the world. So the whole universe minus Rupam and Namam is Satchidanandam only. You and I are Satchidanandam plus Rupam plus Namam, plus name and plus form, and Satchidanandam. How do I know that I am Satchidanandam? I think I am so-and-so, you think you are so-and-so. That's all illusion. But what is the truth? The truth is, you and I and everything is Sat-Chit Anandam only. How do I know that? Because all of us seek Anandam. Not a single one in this world, okay, does not want Anandam, happiness. We call it happiness. Happiness is temporary, but that Anandam portion of it, and we seek it in wrong places. In temporary places, we seek happiness, Anandam, and therefore the Anandam we get is also temporary. Now, Chit, that is an indication that Anandam is present in me. Chit. Chit means to know, the knowledge. Each one of us, everyone has a quest to know. The curiosity is there, maybe in different forms, different extent, different degrees, but everyone has a quest to know. The quest to know is an aspect of Chit in each one of us. So the quest for happiness that we all have is an aspect of Anandam. Now, what is the Sat? Sat means eternal. The truth, always present, always. The word moment you use always, we are thinking in terms of time. But it is beyond time, beyond place, beyond everything. That is Sat. That is Satyam. Now, the fact it's always there, it is indestructible. And the desire, the inclination, the propensity each one of us have to live. No one wants to die. That aspect of it is a reflection, is an aspect of manifestation of Sat. So Sat Chit Anandam is what each one of us is. That is overlaid with the temporary Rupam and Namam. So that Sat aspect, which is very difficult to give up life. Why? Because that Sat always is there. It is always there, right? And that is what Tyajan, Justyajan. Tyajan means to give up. Justyajan, very difficult to give up. That's Sati Devi. What is very difficult to give up? Pranam Tatyaje. She gave up her life, which is very difficult to give. Why? Why did Sati Justyajan Pranam Tatyaje? Why did she give up her life, which is so difficult to give up? Yetat me Akyahi. Yetat, this may to me, Akyahi, please tell me, describe to me. Okay? So please describe to me, sir, why was there an enmity between father-in-law and son-in-law? And why did Sati Devi give up her life, which is so difficult, which is very difficult to give up actually, right? Why did she do that? Please tell me that. So it's a quick summary of the first three slokas. Now, we got another 15 minutes today, so let's continue. Maitreya Uvacha Pura Vissatrujam Satre Sametaha Paramarshayah तथा अमरगणाः सर्वे सानुगा मुनयोऽग्नयः पुरा विश्वसृजां सत्रे समेताः परमर्षयः तथा अमरगणाः सर्वे सानुगा मुनयोऽग्नयः. Now, Maitreya Uvacha, Maitreya now says, hey, listen, Pura Visvasrijam Satre, Pura, earlier, once upon a time, Visvasrijam, in the Prajapatis, various Visvasrijam, Prajapatigal are the ones who are creating the progeny and procreation. That is where you and I, everybody has come from. Please remember that. So this Visvasrijam, they performed a yagam. The yagam is called Satra Yagam. We see on this right at the very beginning of the slokam in Srimad Bhagavatam. We have seen this, right? Rishigal come and the Sutapara, Pauranika, Saunaka Maharishi, all those things we saw. They were up to date doing the Satra Yagam, which goes for 1,000 years. For the Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu, for the welfare, the well-being of the whole universe. That, what does it mean? The human beings should follow Dharmam. Everybody else does that. So, when I don't follow Dharmam, I create trouble, not only for me, but for everybody around. So, to give good buddhi, to strengthen the dharmic conduct and dharmic inclination of people and to promote the dharmic conduct, which automatically gives saubhagyam and sukham, they were performing this yaganga for your benefit and my benefit. So that Satra Yagam, the Prajapatigal were performing. In that Yagam, Paramarshayaha Maharishigal, Katha in same way, Sarve all Amaraganaha, all the Devas, Munayaha, various Munigal, Agnayaha, Agni Devategal, Sanugaha, Sametaha, Sanugaha, along with all the retinues and attendants and everybody, Sametaha, they all assembled. Once upon a time, in the Satrayagam that was being performed by the Prajapatigal, all the Rishigal, the Munigal, the Deva Ganangal, and Agni Devategal, and in Satrayagam, they all assembled at that place. That is what Slokam 4 is. 5 and 6 we will take up together. Tatra pravishtam rishayo drishtvaha arkamiva rochisha brajamanam vitimiram kurvantam tad mahatsadaha udatishtan sadasyaste sadishnebhyah sahagnayah rute virincham sarve rute virincham sarvam rute virincham sarvam cha tadbhasa akshipta chetasah. I'll read it once more. Tatra pravishtam rishayo drishtva arkhamiva rochisha brajamanam vitimiram kurvantam tannahat sadaha udatishtan sadasyaste sadishnebhyas sahagnayah rute virincham sarvam cha tadbhasa akshipta chetasah. Now this yagam was being performed, everybody was assembled there, tatra, in that place, that yagam, pravishtam, one who has entered, pravishtam, rochisha, arkam iva, rochisha, in effulgence, arkam iva, like the sun, effulgent like the sun, arkamiva brajamanam, one who is shining. So, pravishtam, tatra, there, pravishtam, one who has entered, and rochisha arkamiva brajamanam, one who is shining in effulgence like the sun. Tat mahat sataha, tat mahat sataha bitimiram kurvantam. That's the English sentence. I'm putting it for you. Tat mahat sadaha bitimiram kurvantam. Tat mahat sadaha, that big assembly hall. Mahat, great, large. Tat, that. Sadaha, that sabai, that assembly hall. Bitimiram kurvantam. Bitimiram, removing the darkness. Kurvantam, doing that. Vitimiram kurvantam, one who removed by his effulgence, when that effulgence like a sun who is shining, moment he entered the sabai, automatically all the residual darkness, everything is completely removed. Like the way you turn a light on switch a light on in a room, in a dark room, the darkness runs away. It was like that. So, tat mahat sadaha bitimiram kurvantam, one who is doing this dakshan, that dakshanai, we say, okay, looking at that, dakshan, drishtva, seeing that daksha, virincham sarvam cha, this sarvam is very important. In Sanskritam, it is not sarvam. Sarvam means all. Sarvam means Namah Shivaya, Shiva, that's okay, Sambho. That means blissful, one who grants bliss. Okay, that so Virincham Sarvam Cha. Brahma, Virincha is one of the name for Brahma, and Sarvam Sivaberuman Rudra. Rite means accepting. Accepting Virincham Sarvam Cha. Cha means and. Accepting Brahma and Rudra. Okay. Satasyaha te Rushayaha. Satasyaha, in that assembly hall, who were present in the assembly hall, te Rishayaha, those Rishikal who had assembled there that we saw in the previous lokam, other than Sivaperuman and Brahma, all the other Rishikal present in that hall, what did they do? They saw Daksha entering, shining the effulgence of a sun that removes all darknesses immediately. They saw him. Immediately, te Rishayaha, those people, Satasyaha, who were present in an assembly, except Virincham Sarvam, except Sivaperuman and Brahma, all the other Rishikal, that bhasa, in that effulgence of Daksha, akshipta, attracted, mesmerized, immediately impelled, inspired by that. Chetasaha, the mind gets inspired. Right, isn't it? When you see a sunlight or a sunset or whatever, sunrise or whatever. So that absolutely, we say akarshik, or the magnetic attraction, attracted by the effulgence of Daksha Muni, Daksha Prajapati, sa vishnebhyaha, from their own seats on which they were seated, sagnyaha, along with their agni, they were also carrying agni kundam in their hands, along with their agni kundam, from their own asanangal, from their own seats on which they were seated, uda tishtanna, they stood up immediately. This is very interesting because how beautifully it is describing. They saw Daksha Prajapati entering the Yagasalai. He was shining in the brilliance of sun that removes darkness immediately. Immediately the Rishikal, all attracted by the effulgence, the tejas, stood up, carrying their Agni Kundam in their hand, immediately stood up from their seats, except Brahma and Rudra. We'll do one more today. Number 7. Sadasas patibihi daksho bhagavan sadhu satkruta ajam lokagurum natva nishasada tadagnaya. Sadasas patibihi daksho bhagavan sadhu satkruta ajam lokagurum natva nishasada tadagnaya. Now, sadasas patibihi. Sadasas means the assembly, the group that is assembled there. Patibihi, the various leaders of those groups. Sadasas patibihi, by the leaders, the group leaders of all the people assembled in that assembly. Sadhu satkrutaha means properly and appropriately and completely, totally worshipped. Completely, properly worshipped by the various leaders of the people present in the assembly. Bhagavan Dakshaha. Bhagavan, great, very famous, that Dakshaha, that Daksha Prajapati. Lokagurum Ajam. Lokagurum, for all the universe, the Guru, the one who is the father, we call him Pitamaha, okay? And that Gurum Ajam Brahmadevar, Natva, he did namaskaram to him. Natva, we say namaste, right? Now, namaha, when we see the Ashtotra, Satanamavali and all that, namaha, namaha, with Krishna, namaha, that namaha, that comes from na. That Natva, doing this namaskaram, worshipping him, that Brahma, who's Lokaguru, that Daksha did paid his respect to Brahmadeva, who did not get up, remember? And Tad Ajnaya Nishasada. Tad, having been commanded by Brahma, Tad Ajnaya, after commanded by him, Nishasada, he sat down. That Daksha Prajapati entered the hall, all the rishis stood up except Brahma and Rudra, Brahma and Shiva, whatever you want to call. Rudra, Shiva, both are the same. And so Daksha Prajapati, what did he do? He gave namaskaram to Brahma, and then after being permitted by him, commanded by him, he sat down. That is the meaning of this sloka. Sadasas patibihi daksho bhagavan sadhu satkrutah ajam loka gurum natva nishasada tadagnaya. Now, we will continue. Our time is up. So from slokam 8 onward, we will continue tomorrow. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Santit Santit Santihi Harihi Om.